Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network of Information, Education, and Resources.
I'm Kerry Fink. Welcome to Helping Seniors Television. This is the TV program from the Helping Seniors nonprofit that is designed to educate, inform, and connect you to resources that will make a difference on your own aging plan. And that's what we're all about at Helping Seniors. When Joe Steckler, who is our founder, now he's chair emeritus, and he always has had a vision and stressed the importance of getting information in the hands of families that help and educate them. And I'm so glad we're going to have this opportunity to talk today with somebody who has been part of the Helping Seniors organization, not only since the day the day that Joe started this organization, but actually going all the way back when Joe was busy building up the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation and trying to make sure good resources existed in our county to help seniors and their families that were dealing with cognitive issues. I'm talking about somebody that's got years of registered nurse experience, who volunteered her time on both that board and our board, and is now part of the Helping Seniors family in the role of Director of Development. I'm talking about Nancy Deardorff. Welcome, Nancy. How are you?
Thank you, Kerry. Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. There's so many reasons that we have talked about over and over. As we're sitting here now, Helping Seniors is moving into 15 years of service. And that was after Joe had spent all those years building up Brevard Alzheimer's. And you were with him every step of the way on all of that. And I always think that when I met Joe, which is just when he was starting this, I was thinking, like, this is important, that we need to do more for seniors. And here we are 15 years later, and what we're doing is even more important because there's more seniors than ever, Nancy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Joe had a vision early on, and he was right. Look at the average age of our folks in Brevard County. Yeah. We are by far an older county, much more than we are folks 18 and under, or school age children.
Yeah. You know, and it was funny because we were pulling together some annual report stuff on our end, and it was really surprised to see, because it's been a statistic here in Brevard County, Florida, where if you're not from Brevard County, Florida, we sit on the eastern seaboard, or whatever they call it, but it's the Atlantic coastline. I always tell people, if they're not from here, we're close to where they launch the rockets. In fact, that's why they call us the Space Coast, because we do launch the rockets from here. But this is a county that 1 in 4 people is over the age of 65. And 1 in 2 of us, if you go by AARP definition, is over the age of 50. And as you know, AARP will send you a membership card and call you a senior when you turn 50, whether you like it or not. And so this is a county where I often say, you are a senior, love and care for a senior, God willing, give yourself a year or two, and you're likely going to be a senior. So everything we talk about should be important. And the thing that amazes me, Nancy, is that when Joe began that drumbeat 15 years ago, now we have more seniors than ever, because baby boomers are turning senior and people are just flat living longer. So we have more seniors. And then Florida's become the go-to place. So all these seniors are moving here.
Yes.
And everything we do is just that much more important.
Yes. And, you know, like I said, Joe had a vision early on, and, you know, people complain about growing older. Oh, I'm going to be however old, you know, or I'm going to start going backwards, a lot of people say. But, you know, one thing I learned, and I learned it early on in nursing, I worked oncology, and it was very rewarding, but I had to say goodbye to a lot of patients of mine. And one thing I learned is it's a privilege to grow old.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that opportunity. And we at Helping Seniors of Brevard, as you know, want to make the growing older experience as smooth as possible. And I always say knowledge is power. And that's what our goal is. Our goal is to educate, inform, connect, and have people develop their own aging plan, which we playfully call getting your ducks in a row, so that they have a plan. I mean, it involves so much, and it's not always pleasant conversation, wills and trusts, what happens. funeral arrangements, what happens if your spouse passes away. But these are things we should talk about while we're able-bodied and of sound mind. Then you can put that conversation aside once you have your plan in place. It's a lot better than scrambling at the last minute when something happens. Yeah,
I really think it's relevant to try to interject at this point that, you helped Joe from day one. I met Joe when he was just beginning this, and he said, Kerry, he said, what I realized in building Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation is that many families do run into these cognitive challenges, and that's why the work of Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation is so important.
Yes.
But he said, what I also realized was every family runs into aging issues, and he goes, that's why I feel we need to create this nonprofit called Helping Seniors to help people navigate those challenges. We have talked about this a lot. I said my own personal journey into this, Nancy, was, we were trying to help our moms in their aging journey. And there was so many times we felt deer in the headlights look because.
Was that before you met Joe?
So here's the neat part.
Or in the middle of it?
In the middle of knowing Joe. So it gave us great comfort that we at least could talk to people and say, well, what about this? But think about how fortunate we were to be able to know Joe, know you, know people who knew this area, and we could at least ask questions. And so often we get hit with these things that come at us really fast.
Overnight, it seems.
And then we're trying to make sense of it, but we don't even have a frame of reference to make sense of it.
Right, right. Then combine that with the fact, I think your mother was close, correct?
Yeah,
close by you. Combine that with the fact that, as you said, a lot of seniors move to Florida. So they move away from the very network of family, children. So a lot of times as people age, they're down here in Florida alone. And their sons and daughters are across the country. So their support system, other than friends and neighbors, may be very, very far away.
And this is really kind of getting into the heart of something we wanted to talk about today, because, the challenge is you might think you're a smart person and your particular area that your career is in. And, maybe you spend a lot of time trying to figure out you have hobbies and things, and you feel like you're skilled and knowledgeable at those things. But when you start to run into some of these aging things, it's a whole different world because you just flat are in territory you don't understand, and it's all coming at you very fast.
Absolutely. And with my experience as a registered nurse, I will tell you one thing. Very rewarding profession. It taught me a lot. I thank God that when my family started to age and things started happening, that I had the experience and the connections that I had. But I will also tell you this, as a registered nurse, I know what to do for a patient. But then you put me as the daughter of my father, and the registered nurse a little bit goes out the window. I mean, you've got the medical background, the registered nurse background. But in the end, when my father developed dementia and became really dependent on me, at the end of the day, I was just a daughter trying to help her father. And I needed resources too. And what do you do when you need resources? If you need your car fixed, if you don't know someone, you usually ask someone you trust, a neighbor, friend. Do you know what handyman I can use? Do you know what car repair shop I can use? And Helping Seniors can be that friend or neighbor, because everybody in our network are trusted business owners and organizations that treat seniors fairly.
I think that's such an important part of what you're saying, is because along with that deer in the headlights look, when you got to confront something that you don't really know how to confront or even where to begin to know the right things, you're usually trying to reach out and say, hey, have you been through this? Who should I call? It could be as simple as a car problem. You're like, okay, the car's not running right. What do I do with this? But these are much more serious things that we're running into, because these are sometimes they're life and death kind of things and things like that. And I think Joe's point about creating an organization that is dedicated to helping seniors and their families navigate these issues is so important. And one of the things that Joe was always serious about was making sure that we get to the businesses that are doing good business for seniors. And by that, I mean they're treating the seniors right. Yes, it's a business. They have to pay their bills, but they are a great resource to the families that work with them. Nancy, you talk to a lot of the businesses that have partnered with Helping Seniors. Talk about the commonality of that you see where they really want to serve our seniors with excellence?
Yes. Well, it's important for whoever's watching to know that helping seniors, we survive. We exist because of private donations, of course, our annual car raffle, and we appreciate the community for supporting that. We've gotten great support over the years, but also our business and organizational sponsors. These are businesses. Sometimes they are small businesses that are a one-man operation or one-woman operation. Sometimes they can be corporations. And these folks are who allow us to continue our mission to help seniors in Brevard. So they sponsor, right? They underwrite for us. And in turn, what we do is we promote their business to seniors who need that type of business. We do that through a variety of methods. We also educate seniors, not to forget that point that you made. So education is the first key, information and education. But then when it comes right down to it, when you need a particular service, we can steer that person in the right direction. Some services are free, not a lot. Some services, some businesses provide a veterans discount or a senior discount. Some of them don't, but what they all have in common is they're all focused on providing good, reliable, trustworthy services to seniors. And they have, a reputation for showing up when they're going to treating seniors right, trustworthiness. And that's really, at the end of the day, the most important thing, that you're connecting with a legitimate, trustworthy business that understands the unique needs of seniors and meets those needs.
And it's interesting because people don't often understand that the work of a nonprofit is extremely complicated, because at the same time you're trying to provide services to your core audience and do the mission that you were called out to do, you're also having to find the roadmap to keep the organization alive, meaning that you can't go farther than the resources will allow you to. And one of the challenges every single nonprofit faces is people outside the nonprofit world just assume there's grants and all this kind of thing that makes it possible, but it really doesn't exist in the way people think. It's mostly that it's kind of grassroots support that makes it happen.
Yes.
And so when Joe put this together, he said, I want to get a group of businesses together that will support us in our effort and our mission to educate and help seniors navigate. And so he saw it really kind of on two levels. Yes, we need the financial support, but we also need the expertise, because that's part of the education that our seniors and their families need too. People who have been behind the Helping Seniors organization for years. One name comes to mind, Dr. Lee Sheldon. He's a noted area periodontist here, has built up a very big practice.
From the beginning.
From the beginning,
he's been with us, yeah.
He's a guy that's actually nationally known. They call him out to give talks at various dental. He actually has a whole organization that helps other dental practices operate with excellence. But he's a person that has worked together with the Helping Seniors organization literally since before Joe started, just like you. But the interesting point is, there's so much educational value to what he brings, because he'll talk about, in addition to his own particular specialty, everything. Oh, we can help you get a nice smile. We can share with you education and things you need to know about if implants are a right decision or things like that. But what I love about it is he takes it to the next level, because he's very concerned about overall health. And he talks about the mouth being so instrumental to the rest of your body's health. He talks about all these studies where they're talking about the health of your mouth can actually affect the health of your heart, and some research that they do like that. This is wisdom that comes into the Helping Seniors organization that we don't get without the benefit of great sponsors like that.
Exactly. And we don't get taught that in school, that periodontal disease is connected to heart failure. Yeah. We've got a lot of germs in our mouth. So, and the other thing I love about Dr. Sheldon, and we're just using him as an example, is if you go there and you have dental problems and you can't afford a full set of implants, he's going to find the best, most reliable alternative for you. And if you don't need certain work done, he's not going to push that on you. And that's what a lot of the path of least resistance, I would say. He's always going to be conservative in the way he approaches things. And that is the businesses that support Helping Seniors of Brevard. That's what they're like. They have the senior in mind. They're not just there to sell something, because their reputation is important to them.
Yeah, I like a phrase that I've heard you repeat many times where you say, how do you know what you don't know? And when you get the chance to sit down with somebody who educates you, they're really adding value to your life. And when we talk about putting together an aging plan, the idea of doing that is important, but getting the right input into your aging plan is also important. So another, we were talking about a couple of people that have really been kind of ingrained in the Helping Seniors organizations. Another one that comes to mind is board certified elder law attorney Bill Johnson. He has his own law firm called William A. Johnson. But since the beginning, he has been sharing his expertise to help people understand certain things. Like he often jokes, the government has a plan for you if you don't have a plan. It's probably not the plan that you had in mind.
Right.
Much better that you should learn a few things and get some insight, and let's set this up the right way. Mm-hmm. And here's somebody who spent decades helping seniors and their families navigate elder law questions to the point that he's literally one of only 2 board certified elder law attorneys in the county. And the premise is that he takes time out of his day to help us with radio, articles, and TV, because he wants to educate the public so that they can best manage those aspects of an aging plan that are pretty much required to be in place if you're going to be any kind of success with that. Those are the kind of people that get behind the work of Helping Seniors. And Nancy, one of the things I wanted to point out, I think those guys are actually, while they're doing great service in the community, while they are definitely making it possible to press the work of Helping Seniors forward, and while they are most definitely educating people as we go along, I actually have to say, I think they're brilliant marketers because, it's one thing to run an ad where you say, look, here's my building, here's what I offer, here's pictures of this or that. But it's another thing when you take the time to educate, because then you're building trust with the people. They're getting answers to the situations that are particular to their own situation. And then they're getting a trust factor with the person that's providing that and say, this is who I would trust.
Yeah, they're getting to know people. They're getting to know him as an example. They're getting to know Bill Johnson before they need him.
Right.
And that's who you're going to turn to at the time when you finally decide, hey, I need an elder care attorney. And I just have to add for people watching, it's so important. People think elder care attorneys have a false notion that it's for the very rich. And that is not true.
Yeah.
Almost every single person needs an elder care attorney.
Yeah, that's a point that I want to know, is kind of goes back to your line. How do you know what you don't know? And that's the problem is, when I talk to all of these people that are part of the Helping Seniors Network, first of all, there's so many wonderful resources out that will, at the end of the day, it will save you money, because getting the right help, the right advice at the right time is going to keep you out of trouble.
Yes. And
going to make your journey as easy as possible. So therefore, it's going to reduce your stress. It's going to increase your confidence. And it's just going to be benefit, peace for your family and all that. But if you don't know where to begin, you don't know where to begin. And that's why we rely so strongly on businesses to come together, not only to do the financial support so that we can do the work we do, but literally to help us educate the public on the things that they need to know.
Yeah, exactly. And, the big thing that people always say to seniors is, and kids, school-age kids, ask questions.
Yeah. Ask
questions. That's how you learn. How do you ask questions if you have no idea what to ask?
Yeah.
So that's the purpose of our Knowledge College, mm-hmm. Our wellness series. All the education that we do is to educate mm-hmm. Seniors and their families on issues that maybe are not affecting them now, but will. And it's important for people to take advantage. I mean, I said earlier today, I said to someone, when you go to an event like our Knowledge College or our wellness series, you're getting a free mini college education.
Yes.
Because we have, whether it's an elder care attorney, a speech therapist, a home health professional, a registered nurse, a case manager, whoever our speaker is, they have wisdom to impart. And again, you might not need their wisdom right now, but if you could ever think of an example in your life where you did something good for yourself years ago, and like today you're going, oh, thank goodness I did that. Thank goodness I did that when I did that. And I often say to our callers that call our helpline, do yourself a favor because your future self will thank you. Educate yourself on these issues. So when things creep up, you have an aging plan in place, and you're not functioning in crisis mode.
You know, that's so smart what you're saying, because really that's also at the heart of it too, right? There's never a better thing that you can invest in than yourself. And every time that you have armed yourself with more facts, more information that helps you make wise choices, it's going to save you time. It's going to increase your own happiness in life, because now you're kind of like charting your own course as opposed to getting blown around by whatever waves and winds are coming at you. And maybe most importantly, that you've taken the time to ferret out what are the great voices that you want to learn from so that you make good decisions going forth. And that's why Joe, from the beginning, has always talked about the importance of education. And I remember meeting him as a media guy and him saying, Kerry, I want to do the same thing that I did in Brevard Alzheimer's, is that I want to create a program of education so seniors and their families can know what to look for as they're just adding a few years day by day.
Yes. And what I love about our organization, Kerry, is that we support Brevard County-based businesses. Now, that doesn't mean there's a corporation where their corporate office may be out of state. But when we give you resources, all of them are in Brevard County. Yeah. So, I mean, there are services out there that don't operate in Brevard County. They don't have a local representative here. And you don't really know what you're getting. And we promote and add to our we're always adding to our network of trusted providers. And some of those providers are small businesses, and we're very proud to support that. So people are getting what they need as far as resources, and the businesses, the local businesses are getting the business that they need, and both parties are getting what they need, the customer and the business. You know,
that's another point that you're bringing up is the fact that when you get a business that is local, and this is something that Joe has always talked about as well, the importance of doing business locally, because while some of the concepts we talk about are kind of universal, it doesn't matter if you're turning 85 in California or if you're turning 85 in Florida, there's going to be certain things that turning 85 just means are part of turning 85.
Exactly.
But there is a big difference because state laws are different, and there's a lot of different, even down to the county, there can be differences.
Yes.
And so knowing where you can find services that are going to be appropriate has to be a local thing. So one of the things that we talk about a lot in the Helping Seniors work, and why we love to partner with businesses that are kind of what I call boots on the ground, is because too often people will see a TV ad or something and call an 800 number. And when you call that call center in Des Moines or Omaha or wherever out in the Midwest the call center is, you're talking to nice people who are doing their best, but they are looking up on a computer screen what resources exist in your hometown.
Right.
Wouldn't it be better to talk to somebody who is in your hometown, who knows the businesses, has walked across the doorways of these businesses,
right,
knows who runs them well, and knows who might need to step up their game?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you live in Titusville, you don't want a referral for a business that unless it's a home-based where they come to your home. If you live in Titusville, you don't want a mechanic or an elder care attorney where you have to go to their office and it's in Micco.
Yeah.
Okay, the south end of the county, because our county is 72 miles long.
Right.
You want someone not only local to Brevard, but in a lot of cases close to where you live.
Yeah. No, I think you're saying it exactly right. And that's really a point to kind of like maybe narrow in on this is you have to find the resources that are going to make the difference for you locally. And that's why we are always looking for good businesses who care about our seniors to join the network, from the standpoint that then they have an opportunity to educate folks what's available to them. So Nancy, if somebody, there's all kinds of different ways you can get involved, but I guess the way to start to get involved is give you a call and just say, here's my business, here's what I do, what are the things that might make sense? How do people reach you, and how would they get that conversation started?
Yes, the best way is through our telephone line, 321-473-7770, or to reach out at our website, Helping Seniors Info. Helping Seniors of Brevard. Info at helpingseniorsofbrevard.org.
Yes.
Info at helpingseniorsofbrevard.org or 321-473-7770. Feel free to ask for Nancy, and we can discuss how we can help your business. And at the same time, we have many more businesses we're wanting to add into our network. I need more businesses like electricians, plumbers, things that everybody needs. That are in our network. So it's always growing. And if someone's interested, that's how they can reach out. And, we'd love to promote them and add them to our network, because we'd love to have trusted resources, always adding to that repertoire, if you will, for the people that call us.
And I think it's so important because, again, we can't do the work that we do as helping seniors without people getting behind and supporting the work. And yet it's, like I said, it's on both levels. It's number one, it's the financial help that makes a difference for helping seniors and our ability to keep programs going. But it literally also is the expertise that these people, there's nothing better than somebody calls our helpline and here's what they're facing, and they describe the situation, and we're able to go, we have somebody really good.
Know exactly who you can call.
To be the right match to make this thing happen. So Nancy, once again, why don't you if you're a business or an organization that serves seniors, learn about the options that are available to you. It's good business for you, but it's great business for everybody that's trying to be working with seniors here in Brevard County. Yeah. Well, thanks, Nancy. That's about the time we have for Helping Seniors Television on this edition. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next edition of Helping Seniors TV.
I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.